Today, TeleFox will be teaching you how to apply certain group policies to your Active Directory. So let's begin. So the first thing that you want to consider is the 10 best practices for group policy management. I will leave a link to this website below, but essentially you want to structure your organizational units for GPO linkage, and that's why we created specific organizational units in the previous video. They also recommend do not modifying the default policies for the default domain policy, so we will not do that. It's also wise not to link your GOPs directly to the domain. The reason why is it will affect every single user in that domain. You want to capitalize on GPO inheritance. You want to follow proper, clear naming conventions. So if it's something about passwords, you want to set it to password policy and give it a proper name that reflects the proper policy. You want to disable unused users in computer configurations. Don't disable GOPs linked to multiple organizational units because this could cause some havoc. And you want to avoid stuffing your GOPs and avoiding GPO filtering. One last thing is that you want to audit and monitor your GPO changes to make sure that nothing out of the ordinary changes for your group policies. So I did record this video previously, however the audio did not come through, so I will just go through a short demonstration. What I recommend is consulting your administrator and your company's security policies when applying specific group policies to your Active Directory domain. However, I will link this 10 most important group policy settings for preventing security breaches in the link below. Unfortunately, during the recording, I did actually create all those group policies, so we could recreate them. However, I might not create every single one for time conveniency. So to pull up your group policy manager, you want to click on Tools and select Group Policy Management. This will load up the program and the console where we manipulate our group policies. So once you pull up the Group Policy Management tool, it will look something like this. You will see your domain. What you want to do is expand the domain tree, go to Domains, and expand your domains. If you have multiple domains, they will be listed here. However, we only have one in this telefoxcorp.la.localforest. So we expand that. And as you can see, we have some policies here. So let's go to Starter GOPs. And as you can see, we have the policies already set here. So the main area where you will be creating your group policy objects is in this folder right here. And we have created at least 10 different policies. But what I will do is I will just recreate this to make it a little bit more simple for you to understand how to manage and deploy your group policies. So to moderate access to your control panel, you want to right click, click on New, and you want to give it a proper naming convention. As you can see, we already have mod access to control panel here, so I won't recreate each policy for convenience's sake. But that's how you create it. You would just give it a name, mod access to control panel, and we'll give it number 2 and click OK. So that's how you create a new policy. To edit a policy, you right click it and click on Edit. For this demonstration, I have already configured each policy, but we will go through it again since the first video was without audio. So what we want to do is go into User Configuration and then click on Policies and Administrative Templates. So User Configuration, Policies, Administrative Templates, and then Control Panel. Inside of Control Panel, we want to prohibit access to Control Panel and PC settings. We double click that, And for your policy, it will not be configured. But as you can see, I already enabled it. So what we do is we just click on Enable, click on Apply, and then OK. And now you created your first group policy for access to the control panel. So to move your new group policy to a organizational unit, it's fairly self-explanatory. You just click on it and drag and drop it to your department that you want to apply the group policy. So for this case scenario, we're applying it to the HR department. And it will ask you, do you want to link the GPO to the selected organizational unit? Click OK. And there you go. That's your first group policy that you created. So as you can see, I went through a couple of the policies that we already set. We will go through one more, and then I will leave a link to the rest of the configuration information for those settings in the description. So next, we want to make sure we never change this default domain policy right here. And we never want to change this default domain controllers policy as well. Never touch these. You also want to note that you never want to add anything inside of your domain controllers. So nothing right here. You don't want to change this. Okay, we will go through one more option, and that would be to disable removable media. So we already created that specific group policy. It should be located somewhere here. Let's see. Blocking USBs. So blocking USBs was the policy to prevent anyone from plugging in a USB and executing commands or a program or uploading a file to the computer. So to edit that policy, we want to right click it and click on Edit. Then we go to the following pathway. We go to User Configuration. We click on Policies. Next, we go to Administrative Templates, System, and Removable Media, or Removable Storage. From here, we want to click on All Removable Storage Classes, Deny All Access, double click that. And then what we want to do is Enable. Click on Apply, and OK. Then we just drag and drop that to the HR department. So this prevents the HR department from taking anybody's files. So say if you have one or two people in your HR department, they come to work and one day they randomly plugged in a USB into your computer to save some files from all of your workers. So like they're trying to collect social security numbers, anything of that nature. Well, they wouldn't be able to do that because your USB ports are locked down, so they would need administrative rights to unlock those USB ports. So that's how to create new group policies. However, we won't go through each setting. Like I said, I recorded the video, the audio didn't come through, and for convenience's sake, I think it's best for anybody viewing this video to actually practice for themselves instead of watching me do it. So I will leave the link to the 10 most important group policies to apply to your Active Directory domain. And the final step is to audit your Active Directory and any of the group policy changes. We could do that by going through the following pathway. We launch our Group Policy Management Console, which we already have open here. And we already have the Audit GPO set. So what we do is we go ahead and edit it. We go to Computer Configuration, Policies, Windows Settings, Security Settings, Advanced Audit Policies down here below. And then we go to the Advanced Audit Policy Configuration. We expand that. And then we find our audit policies here. We want to expand this. And we want to click on DS Access. From here, we want to double click each of these options and click on Configure the following audit events, success and failure, and click OK for all 4 of those. Then from there, we bring up the Active Directory Service Interface Editor by typing in the following in the search bar, IDSIE. Here we go. Okay. So you basically will be asked to set your default naming context. You'll keep that default. It should look something like this screen right here. You would just click OK. Then from there, you want to expand the DC. You want to go to System, C in System right here, and then C in Policies. We right-click Policies and go to Properties. Go to Security. Then we go to Advanced. We go to Audit, and then from here we add the principal. So you should see something that says Add Principal or Add right here. As you can see, Dennis Mode is the administrator of this Active Directory. He will be the one to have access to the auditing for the group policies. So he has full control. Click OK, apply, OK. And because I did this already in the previous video that was without audio, I can't actually deploy it again, but that's the general concept. Then from there, we need to give that user the permissions for system root, sysvolume. So we go system root $, or %, system root %, and then we go to the sysvolume, right click on that folder. We go to Properties, go to Security, go to Advanced, and we do the same thing. We go to Audit, click OK to continue, and then click on Add. And as you can see, we already added Dennis as full control for this system volume folder. So click OK, and apply if necessary. And there you go. Now you have your group policies created. Like I said, I would consult with your company policy and your system administrator to figure out what group policies you guys want to create for each department. But that's the general pathway to create a new group policy and how to apply it to an organizational unit. If you enjoyed this video, please like and don't hesitate to contact Telefox for all your consulting needs. You have a good afternoon.